Long ago, in the land of ancient Egypt, a powerful empire stood beside the great river Nile. Its cities were magnificent, its armies were strong, and its ruler believed that no one could challenge his power. This ruler was Pharaoh. He was not just a king, he claimed something far greater. Pharaoh declared himself to be a god and demanded that the people worship him. Anyone who refused his command faced punishment. Among the people living under his rule were the children of Israel. They were the descendants of Prophet Yaqub, also known as Israel. But in Egypt, they were not honored guests. They were slaves. They were forced to build cities, carry heavy stones, and work endlessly under the burning sun. Pharaoh feared them. A prophecy had reached him that a boy from the children of Israel would one day rise and destroy his kingdom. Terrified of losing his power, Pharaoh made a cruel decision. Every newborn boy among the children of Israel was to be killed. Soldiers spread across the land, searching homes and villages, ensuring that no male child would survive. But when human tyranny reaches its peak, the wisdom of Allah begins to unfold. One night, a child was born in the house of a believing woman. His name would become known across history, Musa. But his birth was surrounded by fear. Soldiers were constantly searching for newborn boys. His mother knew that if they found him, they would take his life. Then Allah inspired her with a command mentioned in the Quran. She was told to place the child in a basket and set it upon the waters of the Nile. It was an unimaginable test for a mother, to place her baby into a river and let the current carry him away. Yet she trusted the promise of Allah. With trembling hands and tears in her eyes, she placed the baby inside the basket and gently set it on the flowing river. The Nile carried the basket further and further away. But this was not a journey of abandonment. It was a journey guided by divine protection. The basket eventually drifted near the palace of Pharaoh himself. Servants noticed the floating basket and brought it to the royal family. When the basket was opened, inside was a beautiful baby boy. Pharaoh's wife, Asiya, looked at the child with compassion. She felt something special about him. She said to Pharaoh, "Do not kill him. Perhaps he may benefit us, or we may adopt him as a son." And so the child whom Pharaoh feared, the child he tried to eliminate, was raised inside his own palace. Allah had already begun to shape destiny. Despite growing up among wealth and power, Musa would never forget justice. As he grew older, he witnessed the suffering of the children of Israel. One day he saw an Egyptian man beating an Israeli slave. Musa intervened to defend the oppressed man. In the struggle, the Egyptian died. Realizing the seriousness of what had happened, Musa feared punishment and fled Egypt. His journey took him far across the desert until he reached the land of Madian. In Madian, Musa helped 2 young women draw water for their animals. Their father later invited him to his home. This man was a righteous believer. Musa stayed with the family, eventually marrying one of the daughters and living peacefully for many years. But the story of Musa was far from over. Allah had chosen him for a mission that would change history. One night, while traveling back toward Egypt with his family, Musa saw a strange light on a mountain. He told his family to wait while he went closer. This mountain was known as Mount Sinai. As Musa approached the fire, he heard a voice calling him. It was the voice of Allah. Allah chose Musa as a prophet and commanded him to return to Egypt and confront Pharaoh, the most powerful tyrant of the time. Musa was given miracles to prove the truth of his message. His staff could transform into a serpent. His hand would shine with a bright light when he placed it under his arm. These were signs from Allah. Musa asked Allah to send his brother Harun to support him in the mission. Allah accepted his request. Together they returned to Egypt. Standing in the grand court of Pharaoh, Musa delivered the message clearly. Worship Allah alone and free the children of Israel.
But Pharaoh mocked him. He accused Musa of being a magician and gathered the greatest magicians in Egypt to challenge him. On the appointed day, the magicians threw their ropes and staffs, creating the illusion of moving snakes. But when Musa threw his staff, it became a real serpent and swallowed their tricks. The magicians immediately realized the truth. They fell in prostration and declared belief in the Lord of Musa and Harun. Pharaoh was furious. He threatened them with torture and death. Yet the truth had already spread. Despite the clear miracles, Pharaoh refused to change. Allah then commanded Musa to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt during the night. Thousands of people began their journey across the desert. But Pharaoh soon discovered their escape. With his massive army, he chased them. Eventually, Musa and his people reached the edge of the Red Sea. In front of them was the sea. Behind them was Pharaoh's army approaching rapidly. The people cried out in fear. But Musa replied with certainty, "My Lord is with me. He will guide me." Allah commanded Musa to strike the sea with his staff. The waters parted. A path appeared through the sea, allowing the people to cross safely. When Pharaoh and his army followed them into the sea, the waters returned to their natural state. The tyrant who once claimed to be a god was drowned, and the oppressed people were finally free.